Good day to all of you. My name is Scholar from the Trader community, and today we will be doing a weekly forecast once again. It has been quite some time since we've done one, but today we will be looking at Bitcoin, DYDX, Sol, Atlas, FTT, and BNB. So sit back and relax, and let's start the forecast. So to start off, let's have a quick glance at Bitcoin and what it actually has been doing. It did a very bullish close. We talked about this on our stream. They tested top side, held bottom side. They are now continuing on to the next zone. Now the zone that I really want them to start closing above of is actually where they are right now. As you can see, it's the previous move to the high as well, and because of that, I actually just took some profits on longs. I have from here and one below, a little bit lower as well. Now I'm slowly starting to look for shorts, but that doesn't mean that they can go higher, right? You guys know by now, every time we do a forecast, we will give you guys a bullish case scenario and the bearish case scenario. The bullish case scenario, in my opinion, would be if they would almost go to the previous high, then come back down, and then try to hold these on the daily. If they can hold these, then they can just continue to move higher. However, I do believe that there's also this option where we might actually see some downward movement. Now, how would this play out? It's if today we would close below 49,900-ish, and kind of start rejecting this bottom side right here, which in previous times has been very important as well. You see, it has been a very important pivot point here as well, was the second high before the high. So yeah, this area really is very interesting to look for shorts again. If and only if they start failing here, I might start looking for some shorts. That will probably be if they start, distributing here. Once they start distributing here, meaning going down, then starting to reject this, and then maybe get a short in, then I would first look for this area right here, right? On the 1 hour or the 4 hour, you can choose. And I want them because going down and losing the move to the high doesn't always mean it's that bearish. So you want them to hold high range. So you want them to hold this. If they can hold this, they can still, reverse and just bounce to the upside and continue this trend that we had in the bullish case scenario. If they, however, start to fail and start losing too much, we might just get a move to the upside and then a continuation of trend down, meaning a shift in trend. So this would be my bearish case scenarios, and the other two are kind of still more bullish, right? So I will be looking out for these trades on Bitcoin. How do I mainly execute them? So I'm looking for a higher time frame structure, and then I would go onto the lower time frame in order to, get my execution plan. We talk a lot on stream about an execution plan and an environmental plan. So if you want to know more about that, ask it to me on stream, and I'll be gladly to help you guys. But this is my trading plan for this week for Bitcoin. If you have any questions, feel free to join us on Twitch as well. So that's it for Bitcoin. Let's head over to the next one. So next up is DYDX. You guys watching the stream know that I really love DYDX. It was super hyped on Twitter, and a guy, I think it was Disaster Trader from chat, actually reminded me to look at DYDX. And oh boy, I've been watching it ever since it was the 26th of September, I think. And from there on out, I started kind of watching it, and I got 2 longs in over here. Of course, took up quite a bit of PTs, and now let's see whatever we have, whatever DYDX will actually do, right? So what I'm looking for is, you see them clearly rejecting the move that brought us to the high, and because of that, I'm actually not that bullish on it anymore. What I noticed as well is a lot of the altcoins are actually not making new highs compared to Bitcoin. Normally when Bitcoin is distributing, altcoins will start to pump as well. Now on the 4-hour time frame, I don't really see that much options anymore. We would have to go to the lower time frames in order to get a better view of what they're actually doing here. But other than that, if they don't hold this area, we might actually be in for a trend change on DYDX. For how long, I don't know that yet. So what do they have to do in order to make a trend shift is actually start trading below this area right here. So starting to trade below 21.5, in my opinion, would be enough for a trend shift. Now, however, they can also just try and grab this liquidity down here. So if DYDX is getting down this area right here, you can also consider it as a nice buy. So how would I play this as the bullish case scenario, or the little bit bearish and bullish case scenario, is I would wait for them to accumulate here look for the lower time frame breakout, buy top side, and then see wherever it goes, right? That's what I would like to see on DYDX if it were to go down there, right? They don't have to go down there, but if they go down there, I would really like to play something like this. Now, of course, if Bitcoin does retrace, and it's quite a steep retracement, I will be looking for 16.5. Now, they won't just fly there, right? It will probably take quite some time for them to get there. But if they get there, I will be very interesting to look for some longs within that range. So all the way from 15.7 to 16.5. Now, other than that, let's go to the lower time frame and let's start looking for some more bullish cases. I like that they're holding the high range right now, but they're not really doing anything with the move, with the pump, right? And because they're not really doing anything, I'm still skeptical for the longs at the moment. So what I want them to do is, yeah, sure, they can still come back down, sweep the origin maybe, hang around here a little bit, then go up, achieve, come back down, bullish close, and then pump. That would be something I would like on the lower time frame for a bullish case scenario. Now, I think this would only happen if Bitcoin keeps on pumping and then above starts to distribute, right? So these are kind of my 2 points of views for this week. I'm not really that bullish on it anymore. We will see if this thing happens. Yeah, sure, I will be scalping it long, trying to build up that position again. If they come down all the way here, I will be looking to long it as well. I'll just change it in my watch list so that it comes on top again. So that's kind of it for DYDX. Those are the plays I will be looking out for. And let's head over to the next one. For our next pair, we have Sol. Well, yeah, I think if you're into crypto and you still haven't heard about Sol, you're kinda weird. This coin has been all over the place, and well, it has been trading like a charm as well. It trends so lovely, it's easy to trade, and yeah, that's why I love it. So let's have a look at it and let's see what I'm actually expecting for it. Now, looking at the daily, right? This daily structure, yeah, I'm not really looking at this big pump. I'm more looking at this local price action. I'm actually looking for, if they would come back down, I really want them to hold this zone. Now, I know it's a wide zone, but it's a daily zone, right? So you know if it gets into that zone, you really want to start looking for Sol continuation patterns on the lower time frames. So what I like to do when I'm dumbing down my charts is always looking at the higher time frame, then going down to the lower time frame in order to, get my trades. So we're now on the daily. Let's head over to the 4 hour and let's see what we might actually find here. So what they're trying to do right now is actually holding the previous failure, as you can see right here. Right here, that's the failure. They're holding the wick of it, holding top side of this one as well, and the bottom side of the move to the high. So very nice confluence on this pair. So this is what they want to hold in order for a bullish continuation. Now, this is, in my opinion, the most bullish continuation you can get if they go up. Now, is the probability of this the highest? No. So what do I like to do is go onto the lower time frames and see if I can get a setup there. Now, this one already played out in my opinion. So because of that, if they keep on failing to make new highs, I'm looking for them to make new lows. Now, what would be one option? One option would be doing a sweep over here, going back up, retesting, and then actually doing the pump, right? Now, remember guys, if they can't go up, right, they'll have to make new buyers. And how do they make new buyers? Stopping out people. So where would they stop out people? Probably over here, right? And then you would look for a long after they've stopped out people. Now, if this fails, right, if this fails, I will just be looking for 140. So if Bitcoin starts to become bearish again and starts to distribute right now and Sol isn't pumping, then I'm just looking for this area to look for my longs. That would still be a bullish retracement in my opinion, because after this, what you can get is an accumulation. After the accumulation, maybe a big pump, continuation pattern, and pump, right? So a retracement doesn't always mean that it's more bearish. It's just another opportunity to buy more at the lower area because the environment is right for the trade. Okay, so these are the 4 hour things that I'm looking out for. Let's go over to the lower time frame and see what it's actually doing to get a little bit more of perspective. So okay, I really like the setup that they did over here, but I wasn't at the screen at the time, so I didn't really take it. So okay, they're trying to hold topside, but as you see yourself, they're failing. So yeah, we'll see. If they come back down all the way here, I'm actually might be interested in looking for a short something like this. So we'll see whatever they do, but the higher time frame stuff is still the same. locally it's not looking like I really want to look for longs on it, but we'll see. If Bitcoin really starts to go and the alts follow to the upside, I might be scalping some shorts, but for now, I'm just patiently waiting for it to come back down. We have to kind of remember that they just had a very big run up as well. How big was this run? Let's see. 30%-ish. So yeah, might be in for a little retrace and a refill, right? So try to look at the zones that I was looking at as well. And yeah, so good luck with Sol. Let's head over to the next pair. These are the patterns or the areas where I would like to long for. So see you guys in the next pair. So for the next pair, we kind of have a different one. It's called Atlas Perp. It's kind of like an NFT game that has been hyped up kind of hard on FTX. I kind of wanted to short it because it has been doing some crazy moves as well. And in my opinion, this very big up move actually might be helpful to us in a later stage of it. Let me quickly look at the weekly because I haven't yet. Okay, nothing too important over there. Now what I want them to actually do is, let's say that Bitcoin, you know, goes a little bit south. If Bitcoin goes a little bit south, we know that we are at this hard resistance area. You kind of want them to start closing above today, above 0.13, so 13 cents. If they don't do that, you know, they might start a curvature, and you guys know from watching the stream how much I like my curvatures. So if they make the curvature, you might actually get a shorting opportunity. And where would you look for shorts? I would look for shorts down here. Well, for a PT down here, of course, 0.11, and then for 0.92ish is where I would like to take a PT as well. Now, in my opinion, I'm mainly shorting to hedge myself for a bigger long, because if we come down all the way to here, hold it, start accumulating, oh man, I'm really in for this nice continuation pump. Because the hardest thing would then be, of course, going back to 0.12.5 and then actually trying to get above it, right? That would be my dream scenario for Atlas. I was looking at this chart and I really liked how it looked, and I will definitely be looking at it a lot more during the weeks to see where it's heading towards, if it's really distributing. If it's really distributing like I think it might be, because a lot of the alts are, then I'm actually really interested in looking for it for a short. But remember what I'm saying, I'm looking for a short to later on hedge for my longs, right? So I'm looking for a short to hedge my longs, my futuristic long opportunities. Now for a shorting pattern, what would I look out for? I would look out for them to come back down here, go back up, and then look for a short. First PT would be here, second PT would be where we talked about earlier, and then we would look for the long right there. And then we don't touch your short anymore because we're hedging long, and then we're properly hedged, and that's all we want to do in this market, right? Hedging. Now, of course, they can also just keep on pumping, right? Everything I'm saying is a probability game. So I know that this option is there. I know that the other option is there as well. But if you're looking at the 4-hour closes right now, they're looking pretty bullish, aren't they? So what would be one of the bullish case scenarios here is that they come back down, hold the midpoint of this range, or a bottom side, top side from this one, and then just blast it, right? How high would they blast it? I would look for 0.14.3 is what I would look for. So let's make this green. That would be my bullish case scenario for Atlas, and then these are the bearish ones. Now, if they went all the way up there, they might just do another retracement, touch the top side again, and then they have to make a new high. If they don't make a new high, this pattern is still a thing, right? So that's it for Atlas. Let's go over to the next coin. For our next coin, we have FTT. Well, I kind of wanted to put FTT and BNB in this list because, you know, they're kind of the same, right? FTT is the coin of FTX and BNB is the coin of Binance, and in my opinion, they're both the best exchanges out there. And because of that reason, you know, those coins, they're always swinging very nicely. And FTT, with the upcoming of FTX, I really think that the price might go up quite a lot more because not that many people are still using FTX yet. And, you know, they might want to buy 25 FTT to get the free zero limit fees, which in my opinion is very nice to have on FTX. So let's have a look on what they've done. You know, they're actually holding this failure right here. and they were trying to hold topside but then failed. Now what they're doing now is actually achieved it, retested the topside, and now they have to make new highs. So you really want to have FTT make new highs. In my opinion, at least 260, 65 would even be nicer. So those would be the areas I would be looking out for sure. So let's get down to the lower time frames to actually see what they're doing there and if they're not just distributing. So we went down here, made a loss of the move to the high, they retested it, but they're doing not too bad. What I'm actually looking out for now is you want them to hold this failure right here as well. This is the failure structure. You see how this area was always a pivot point. That's something I really like to look at. So we dumped from here, we retested it, we achieved it, we pumped, we tried to hold it, we dumped, they moved above it, they held it again, they lost it again, so we went down. First retest, losing it, retest, holding. So now I really want them to hold it, maybe do a little retest and then do the blast to the level that we want them to go for. So remember, the first levels I would like to have my PTs on a 60.76 and 65.44. So those would be, in my opinion, the areas of interest for if I have a long for my long targets. Now, can you look for shorts in this one as well? Yeah, sure, because we're still in a valid shorting area. In my opinion, this whole area right here on the 4 hour to the lower time frames is very valid for shorts. Now, I have to be honest, they have been sweeping the origin swing right here, or also the failure swing, whatever you want to call it, but they're not really pushing it down yet. That's in my opinion a little bit weird. So let's see how they will react. Of course, as I said, we're still looking for this bullish continuation, but they can of course not do the bullish continuation, lose it, come back down all the way here, go back up and retest it to check if it's lost and then move down. So these will be the scenarios that I will be looking out for. This would be the bearish case onto the other area of support we were looking for previously, or else we have the bullish case scenario, right? So that's it for FTT. Hope you liked it. Let's do the last one, BNB. So for BNB, you can, in my opinion, kind of see the differences between FTT and BNB quite clearly in the charts. Binance is moving way faster than BNB is. Binance did a very clean continuation play on the daily, zooming in. Wait, let me do something first. Let's see, where might I be heading towards, in my opinion, is the next PT, in my opinion, is around there. So 452. So that's something we have to know. Let me see if there's some other daily structure. Yeah, 483 is nice as well. So let's mark it and let me show you guys what I'm looking out for this trade. So if they don't hold this and they start moving down, you would want them to hold 395. After not holding 395, we'll probably come back down all the way to the origin to 343. So there we go. Let's make this zone. This is one box. This would of course be the box if Bitcoin starts to distribute, we go down and everything kind of goes down. That would be a nice refill area. You can say, oh yeah, sure, Scholar, but I want 383 as well for a refill. That works as well. That would be the very bullish one. Probably, in my opinion, they would probably use that level in order to create the loss of the move to the high, retest it, and then go to do the other level and maybe accumulate here. If they start accumulating here, that would be nice, because then you will, of course, take your first PT again at 383. Now, that's the bearish case scenario, right? What would be the bullish case scenario is just flying up. They just fly up, 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 and finally hit 483. Hold the bottom and then make a new high. So that would be the bullish case scenario. Now let's go and look for some lower time frame actions and what I'm actually looking for on the lower time frames as well. So if we're looking at the lower time frames, well, it's not 4 hour isn't really that low of a time frame. I can definitely see that there is another pivot level that we couldn't spot on the daily that they might want to retest again. So what they're fighting for now is they're fighting for this area right here, right? They're already getting into this whole move. Because they're getting into that move, you want them to go a little bit higher, in my opinion. Maybe touch this, come back down, hold it, and have a continuation. After having this continuation, you want them to make a new high, go to 482. After going to 482, 452 must be the level to hold, and thus we can look for refills there as well. If they then continue and make a new high as well, we will just be trending up beautifully. So that's kind of what I will be looking out for BNB. I'm kind of waiting for them to see if they will hit 452 to then maybe look for a very bullish continuation at 433 on the lower time frames. If they start failing, because now they made a new high, and sometimes you have to make a new high in order to start the reversal, I might look for something like this. If they hold this bullish case scenario and they start to distribute again at around 420 to 415, then I might look for shorts as well, right? So always remember, guys, there are always two sides. You know, there's always a short trade and always a long trade. That's very important to know. Here at Trader 10, we always give you guys a long and a short trade because, well, we're always looking out for a long or a short depending what the market is giving us, right? That's it for today's video, guys. If you liked it, please make sure to give us a thumbs up. And if you want to get free coaching from one of our top traders, please make sure to check out our Trader 10 supporters page on how to get this free coaching. Thank you very much and see you later.